What's up, world? Welcome to the Millennial Outlier podcast. I'm your host, Justin Deal. Man, that new theme song. I'm just saying, friends got us.
Dude,
I didn't want to start it. We were just about to. I hope y'all enjoyed that as much as we did. It's one of your hosts, Justin Deal, and I am with my main man, Pots and Pans, Tyler Ardron. What's up, big dog?
What up, bro? Just the two of us today.
Just the two on episode 22, celebrating it.
Dude,
Dude, the numbers have been
they're just
insane
working
recently.
out. We got to play the lottery or whatever. Is that what people usually say?
That, or I've had some of those conversations with people who really believe that like numbers tell you everything, and like you are.
You do a tarot card reading for me?
Man, my mother's into that. Actually, that's kind of weird for me.
It is weird,
but
I don't know nothing about it.
She's into psychics, tarot cards.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Psychic.
Yeah. And she's gotten one. Actually, told her that her son was going to help her build a ton of wealth, and they're going to be successful. So,
when, like, long time ago?
Yeah. It was before we started PayDay. Yeah.
Wow, that's weird. So she like still talks about it?
Oh yeah, that's she's like, it's obviously real.
What about all the misses though?
Yeah,
there's probably some misses in there.
Well, a lot. They just did one recently, and it was like so general. She was saying some things, and I was like, oh, and you have you wore a red shirt within the last month, and you.
It's like a fortune cookie.
100%. You're like you found a way to apply.
Does she go to like special one? Like, is she recommended one, or she's just like the one on? You ever go through Glassbar and there's just like a random site?
Oh yeah.
Like she'll go to anyone? Or...
Oh, for the most part. Like she'll do a research.
For the most part.
But like when we're away, if she wants to do something different, she's like, why don't we go to a psychic?
Wow.
Or do that. And I'm like,
so did you do it when you were like younger? Would she take you?
No, I've never done it. She doesn't. No, it's usually a girls thing. The girls will go. A couple of them will do it together.
Yeah.
But you know,
I've never done it either. Yeah.
I was definitely enticed when I was like, oh, I'm gonna help us make a ton of money. Tell me more.
Yeah.
I like to hear that story. So as you could probably tell, friends, like we said, just the two of us. So it's going to be a little bit more off the cuff today. We figured we'd do some updates.
Laid back?
Yeah, you know, Tyler and I haven't had a moment to actually talk about things we're doing in life because typically we're highlighting others. So wanted to kind of jump back on that, show you guys, I guess, a little bit behind the curtain, so to speak. And also just as we're building maybe some of the lessons we've learned from podcasting for, the big 22 months, which I guess we increase the speed, but I think we're almost a year and a half, 2 years in.
Crazy,
probably a little less, but it's flying by. But let's kick off because we were talking about it right before this, and I'm super excited that you're doing it now. Yeah, we like talking about health, but you are doing the ice baths now. You're doing a little polar plunge. Tell me about it.
Yeah. So my wife got me one for my birthday, which was in April.
Okay, just waiting to clear it off.
So we had my son's birthday, or we did a joint party for both my sons. They turned 4 and 2, and my one son's birthday is April 28th. My birthday is April 27th. So she gave it to me on my birthday, and then we had a big party at our house the next day, which was the 28th. And so we had to, you know how that goes. We had 70 people over, so we had to clean up. So I threw it in the basement somewhere, and then I forgot. Honestly, I kind of forgot about it, and I didn't know where it was.
Sorry, babe.
I didn't know where it was, and then I guess this past weekend on Saturday, I was like, I'm being I can use this language, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
I'm being a bitch about it. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't that I just like lost it. I'm kind of half kidding about that, though I didn't know exactly where it was. But it was more so like I was kind of being a bitch. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I just got to go do it. I got it out Saturday and did it Saturday, I think, or Sunday, one of the days on the weekend.
Yeah.
I got 20 pounds of ice and put it in. But it's, for those not in New Jersey, it's hot as crap out.
Yeah. So it's officially that level of Mario when the sun chased you trying to kill you. We've reached that status.
It's wild. So I did it on one of the days over the weekend. I went for 2 minutes with 20 pounds of ice, and then it was cool. My son, my older son, who's 14, wanted to do it too. So he did it after me. And then I didn't do it on Monday, but I did it yesterday. And before I went home, I grabbed this time 40 pounds of ice, put 40 pounds in there, and then I did it. And then again, my son did it, which is really cool. And we both did 3 minutes.
Hell yeah.
Well, I was telling you before it started, the toughest part is like you thinking of going in and the initial shock.
Yeah.
Like, I poured the 40 pounds of ice in there, and I'm like, man, I'm like a little nervous. I'm like, this is going to suck. And then you just do it. And then it's like, it hits you. You lose your breath a little bit for 10 seconds. And then you just kind of breathe in and out. And then once you're at like 20, 30 seconds, like it kind of what we were talking about with the barrier thing, your thermal barrier that your body does. Then I was like, being daring, like moving around, kind of doing this, like, so I could kind of keep myself even cooler. But yeah, it's just that initial like thought of the ice is sitting there and it's time to get in.
Yeah.
That's like the toughest part.
100%.
And yeah, it's kind of
squatting down. That's
that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
And I guess we could talk about kind of what our feelings are on it.
Yeah.
What I'm loving it. And what I like about it the most is like when you get out, you feel like super happy.
Yep.
And it's that dopamine. And everybody talks about it. You hear it on all the podcasts, and that's why everybody's doing it.
Yep.
But like no lie, like you get that dopamine hit, and like I was like I'm super like energized and like happy after. So I really want to do it I haven't been doing it in the mornings so in the morning I go to the gym every morning at 5 a.m. and beforehand, I get dressed, I get my pre-workout, all that stuff. So I haven't had time to like work it into before the gym, and I don't want to do it after the gym because from what I've read is it affects like your gains.
Yep.
And I'm all about the gains.
Yeah. Those arms aren't just growing out of nothing, right?
So I've been doing it after work around like 6:30 or whatever. Because I read you can do that so it's spaced out from your workout, but it still has to be at least like 1 to 2 hours before you go to bed because it's going to keep you up and everything.
Yeah.
But I actually like the way I've been doing it this way because it's like I reset my day. Like I'm tired, so I hit the gym, then I work all day, then I get home and, I got my kids there. I got a 4-year-old, a 14-year-old, my wife. And I'm usually like a little tired and, I don't want to run around and wrestle. And, my boys want to do that though, of course. So like I've been doing this, like I said, right after work, I stop Heritage's, get the 40 pounds of ice, then do it, then, get home and everything. And yeah, it's like, it resets my day. And then I'm like happy again and, ready to go, more awake. So yeah, that's kind of what I found with it. Have you been still doing it?
So not as frequent. I've been going, like I said, that place Fire and Ice from time to time over in Maple Shade. But doing the one at the house, I haven't done consistently in a while. But I would agree with it. It's like that was the best part. That's why I liked it in the morning. I'm not a coffee guy, but I'll have an energy drink.
And I definitely see the benefit of doing it in the morning. And I'm like, I want to kind of fit it into the morning, but it's just figuring because then I also like to getting to the office around like 7:30.
Sure. And
also eating breakfast, making eggs and all that stuff beforehand. So there's only like so much time I got in that morning. So I'd have to probably get up at like 4:15 or something. Do that and then go to the gym or whatever. But
it is a little bit of a pain in the ass though to get soaking wet, even if you just go in your boxers.
That's what I'm saying.
And, like,
you gotta
dry off,
get dressed, and then go to the gym.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of like after work. It's been pretty good.
I like the point of that because it is like it's instant energy.
Instant. It's wild.
It's like I used to like chug Red Bulls when I was younger. That's like basically like one swift swoop.
Yeah.
And you would get that. You'd be like ding.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
exactly like as soon as it hits your entire body and you drop that chest and it gets above your heart.
Yep.
Completely agree. It's just eyes wide open and you're usually shivering a little bit in the beginning.
Yeah.
But as I've talked about before, I really feel like it brings a lot of focus and clarity.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Because you're like, it just brings presence. You have to be right there in that moment.
Yep. Yeah. And listen, it's a little easier too because it is hot as crap out.
Yeah.
And I was telling my son because every time that I've done it, he's done it so far. So we've both done it like 3 or 4 times. And I told him like it's gonna get tough though in the winter when you were doing it with the snow out and stuff.
That's literally the worst part. When you get out and it's colder.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, you're dripping wet and your feet are like numb.
Yeah.
But it's start with the hard things, right?
That's what you got to do.
Yeah. So as you were saying, it is summer. It is crazy hot right now. What's the team doing this summer? We work really hard throughout the year. I know your business is still on the uptick at this time of year. So what's going on with the fam squad?
Yeah. So like you said, this is so on the insurance side, we're super busy now. We kind of follow the real estate markets where we start to come up, kind of peak in spring, and then summer steady flow. Then it's kind of comes down a little in the fall and then drops down in the winter. So yeah, this is like our busy time. So, but to answer your original question, so my oldest son graduated 8th grade.
Congrats.
So that was really cool. We had his graduation. We did a graduation dinner on Saturday or Friday of this past week. We went to Riverwind, so that was cool.
Yeah,
Good
love
time with the
Riverwinds.
fam, mom, dad, the brothers, and all that stuff. So we had that, and then we always every year we always go down the shore. So we usually rent a house in Sea Isle. My mom, my dad, my two brothers, their girls, his girls, yeah. And then our kids and everything, all share a house for the week, and have a good time, go to dinner. We usually have the kids babysit one night and get to kind of go out, have a good time. And then also just spending time with the kids, mini golf, beach, all that stuff. So that's in August. So only God, it's already June 26th.
Yeah.
Just even saying that again, it's like crazy. So June's already almost over. We're already almost in July.
4th of July coming up, right
Crazy.
around the corner.
Yeah, like we were talking about, it's midweek, which is kind of odd. But yeah, my mom does it for 4th of July. She has a pool, so she's always done pool parties. We had a pool party. She had a pool party for her company last weekend, where she invited all her agents and stuff out.
Love that.
So that was a good time. And yeah, kind of trying to be outside. This is really like our first summer in the new house.
Yeah.
We bought that. I closed in last August when I bought the house, but that was kind of just getting stuff figured out, and we didn't really have a time to actually enjoy the house in the summer.
Sure.
So now my wife's been we got the swing set up. She's been buying little pools and all that stuff for the kids. So they're like out every day. She has her garden going. She's a big gardener.
Love
She's got a real green thumb.
So you got some organic food up in the house.
Yeah. So she's got, the tomatoes, the peppers, the basil. She's got, multiple things
Love that.
going on. So she's all about that life.
Y'all gonna be off the grid before you're getting chickens next and some beef.
We looked into it.
Yeah, I love it.
We looked into the chickens, but the tough part is I'm the one who wants the chickens, and my wife is the one that's going to be taking care of them because she's home with the kids, and she doesn't want the chickens. So it's like the the classic kid who wants a dog, and the mom's like, "Are you gonna take care of it?" Yeah,
I swear I will.
Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at with the chickens. But then to her point, we're down in the country, Salem County.
Yeah.
So down there, there's a lot of farms and stuff, and really 3 to 5 minutes away, there's a farm that sells fresh eggs, $5 for a dozen.
Nice.
And then also steak that for their cows that are grass fed and everything on their farm, chicken meat, all that stuff. So that's where we go to get everything. And she's like, I'm going to spend all this time taking care of these chickens, and then plus the food, all that stuff. I can just go 3 minutes away and get the same exact kind of eggs for $5.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a good point, but what if that place closes? What if that place closes? We got chickens in the back.
Yeah,
but she's not feeling it.
Quite a few friends with it. It does seem like it's pretty cool. They seem like they're pretty low maintenance. Like the chickens.
That's what I told her. I tried telling her, and they kill bugs. She's not a big fan of bugs.
Try
telling her they kill the bugs.
Yeah,
you let them out. Roam the yard
a little bit. Yeah.
The thing, though, she does have a point. There's like a lot of snakes in where we're at. And they could get in,
up in there.
That might get a little messy.
That's true. That would be
and
terrible
I'm like,
for the kids to see.
Yeah,
there's
for
always
me
like
to
a
see.
fox every now and again. It's like running around in Jersey.
It gets in there. Yeah. But that's kind of my summer. What do you got going on this summer? I know you're the Mr. Traveler.
Oh yeah.
Where you going? France, Italy?
Italy. Yeah. So we have. Oh man. What are we in? So we're almost
Brazil.
So this Friday, actually planning a dope celebrity golf outing. It'll be like a bunch of old Redskins football players.
Redskins.
So
what's the why Redskins?
I don't. It's down in Maryland, so
okay.
I guess just proximity.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't even know.
What's his name going to be there? Who was the running back? Clinton Portis. Yeah. Is he going to be there?
Yeah,
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Fred Smoot. There's like a couple like pretty good names that'll be there. And then we have the Shore House. We wound up getting a place down in Wildwood. Nene rented for like the whole month of July. So
nice.
We're actually going down this
Crest
Friday.
Or north?
I think north. It's 10th Street.
Yeah, it's north. Yeah.
So we'll be doing that because I grew up going to Wildwood all the time.
Hitting
Then
flip
Nene bought the
flops,
place.
hitting
Oh
Keenans.
yeah, absolutely.
Good
And it
times.
was like a different place
First
back
tavern,
then. Yeah.
number one tavern, right? What is it called? The
I'm
Totally
not.
Not. You ever have
Oh
that?
no, I've heard it. Yeah,
Yeah. It's like
okay.
number one tavern, I think. You got to go there.
Yeah.
It's a good drink.
We'll have to pop in. But
yeah.
we wound up. My parents had the place in Ventnor for a while. Then they sold it. So my kids kind of grew up there. And then when Nan had passed away, Nanny always had a place on 7th in Jersey growing up. A lot of memories spent there. So my mom was like, yeah, let's in honor of her, let's just rent each year. We'll go down to Wildwood. We did it this past year. And I was like, man, they've dumped a lot of money into Wildwood.
North Wildwood's nice
It's
now.
definitely not.
Yeah.
I hear that, obviously the boardwalks.
Boardwalk's a little sus though, dude.
I mean, if I got to smack some kids around for being anywhere near my children, it is what it is. We're gonna have to.
But when I was younger, my mom and dad, like we would always stay in Sea Isle, which we still do.
Yeah.
We would stay in Sea Isle, and like as kids, like the Wildwood Boardwalk was like
it's the jam,
the spot.
Yeah.
But like my mom and dad would be like, nah, we're not going there. That, you know what I mean?
That riffraff.
Yeah. And I didn't even I'd be like, I just would think, why are they saying that? Like, it's, there's maybe because they don't want to spend money on games or, I didn't know. But now, like, going there, I'm kind of like, yeah, there is a lot of river.
Yeah.
I can see why they said that.
Different lens. Absolutely.
I can see why they said that.
Yeah, so we'll be doing
it's a good time.
Yeah, we'll be down the next 10 days all through 4th of July. So that'll be nice. For the
nice.
Kids. Then in mid-July, I have a bachelor party. We're going to Montreal. Never been up to Canada before.
Me neither.
So I'll be playing some golf. Doing it for
be
my
careful
brother-in-law.
up there, man.
Yeah. Well, I don't want you to go. I'll be trying to keep me up there.
Yeah, you might get trapped up there.
In one of them camps. But we're doing
you
that.
and the truck drivers.
I'll be moving my own manure, throwing it in places. But then August, my baby sister, she is getting married in Lake Como. So
so I was right with the Italy.
Yeah,
look at that. I knew what I was
in Italy
about.
for a little while. And honestly,
Lake Como, it's going to be like a Kardashian wedding.
Oh, brother, it's wait till our social media is being it's going to be so insane. And Nene's got all these surprises that nobody knows about, not even me.
Oh,
She
wow.
just alluded to them, so it's going to be. She's the baby. She's the only girl. My parents are in a position where they can do really cool stuff for her. So I'm like, God bless. It's going to be a really good time.
We just don't want to see Kim Kardashian showing up with the same dress or nothing. They had a whole Chloe and them had a whole
meltdown.
Yeah.
But yeah, then after that, fourth quarter, we still have a lot of travel. In October, I'll be going to see Ed Milet with my mother in LA.
That's awesome.
See him speak, and we'll spend a little time out there.
Is it just like a thing for him, or is it like a conference?
Yeah, so that his Growth Day app. If you belong to that, they give you for being a member 2 free tickets to Ed's thing, but it's out in LA. So obviously you got to just travel out there and do the rest. So Nene was like, "Why don't we do that for your birthday?" Like, that's awesome. And then I've been at a lot of charity events recently. I've been spending a good amount of money on golf. So
no surprise.
Yeah, going to Pinehurst for a week in October.
Oh, nice.
So we'll be playing a bunch of courses out there.
Yeah.
And then in November, we're taking our whole management team to Tony Robbins to the UPW. So
where's that at? Is that down in Florida?
No, this one it'll be up in North Jersey. I think it's at the Prudential Center still.
Where
the Devils play.
Yep.
It should be up there, and then they'll walk on fire. My mother and I have done it in the past. We've done most of the things that Tony Robbins has to offer. But this will be really cool. There's 12 of us.
Walking on fire, crying.
Yeah, it's a whole lot. It's a really cool experience. So for the people for the first time, we're trying to, you really can't articulate it until you go through it.
Yeah.
Because it's just such a deep,
my mom loves it.
Couple days of there's no alcohol involved. You're literally, Tony's got you jumping around and dancing from 8 a.m. to 1 in the morning. And then you do the same thing the next day. And that's his whole thing. It's your physiology. So they kind of break the body down so they can rebuild it to what you want it to be.
Yeah.
And work on those limiting beliefs. So this one's definitely to unleash the power within is more for the individual. So it'll be for, our management team and owners to really, break through the chains of the things that are, holding us back. What are our limiting beliefs? What do we think we can't achieve because of the thought process? And
that's in August, you said?
No, that one will be in November.
Okay,
towards
November.
the end of the year.
Yep. Yep,
And
yep.
then Christmas time, we always do our Manhattan trip. We take the whole squad up.
Ball
And
out.
we do,
Get
yeah.
some Louis.
Well, no, that'll be the partner trip, but we do the family
That's a
one.
partner.
Yeah, the partner
Multiple
trips.
New York trips.
Yeah, I'm trying to push. We had a partner retire, so I'm like, all right, there's one less of us now. That should mean the
There we
budget per
go,
person
yeah.
goes up a little bit. It's like maybe a little private jet somewhere for the night. Like we'll see.
There you go.
But as always, that's obviously our big thing is doing the travel. And same as you, it's like we work so hard most days that I want to really completely unplug, be super present with my kids.
Yep.
Enjoy something besides New Jersey. In New Jersey, I love you. It's nothing against you, but
It doesn't
I
sound
definitely
like it.
I love coming back to you too. That's my favorite part is coming back and enjoying Jersey. I'm being grateful for where we live. But yeah, on the business end right now, summer for us is actually it's a great time because it slows down a smidge, right? A lot of decision makers aren't in the office Monday and Friday. People are down the shore, so Tuesday through Thursday is like the big haul. So we spend a lot of time right now doing a lot of our training, kind of looking at our processes and systems and saying, okay, what needs refinement?
Yeah.
A lot more meetings with the staff to be more intentional.
So we're like flip-flop. That's the type of stuff I'm doing in the winter.
Okay.
And that's when I know you're busy because that's like when people are kind of getting turned over. And in summer, it's like all hands on deck. I was on before I walked in here. I'm on the phone with a client talking about, a policy or, that type of stuff.
Yeah. So it's always good. It's my favorite time of year because A, I get to golf a lot.
Yeah.
B, we really get to like dissect the business and figure out, all right, what did we do really well so far this year? What things need to be better?
Yep.
And then, we get to do a lot of the thought of what our team building stuff's going to be.
Yeah.
So actually we're doing a Phillies game in a couple weeks, taking the whole squad out, do a cool tailgate.
Yeah, we usually do that, the Phillies game once a year. This year, we're actually not doing it. We're doing a, which is pretty cool, next month or in August, which I guess it'll be next month soon. We're doing a viewing party. So we're going to get like food trucks. No, for the, just for a Phillies game.
Okay.
Because like we were like everybody's favorite part was like the tailgating because we've done it multiple years.
Yeah.
And everybody's favorite part when we do it is like the tailgating portion. Like we would walk in late to the Phillies game and stuff because like everybody's, doing stuff like that you did when you were younger. We're like playing beer pong and like stuff like that. So we're like, why don't we just make the whole thing that? So we're getting a big screen, like a projector type thing, and then food trucks. And yeah, we're gonna have like a tailgate in our parking lot.
Nice. All right, out back.
Yeah, right out back.
That's gonna be awesome.
So yeah, it should be a good time. Yeah,
that's really.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So that's we're gonna do that in August. We try to do one thing every quarter.
Okay.
So we'll do like we've done distilleries, breweries, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Go-kart racing.
Hey, you got to provide some cool experiences, right? Like we're all working in the trenches together, having each other's back. So
yeah, then you
throw a few back and actually enjoy each other.
You're not like just talking business when you're there. Yeah. You're like actually talking to the person as like, hey,
what's going on?
Normal
with your family?
person. Yeah, normal person.
Yeah, obviously we love talking travel, so that's always my question is like, what are you guys doing with that PTO time?
Yeah.
Unlike our last guest, I don't want you to have 50 days of PTO left. I want you to use them all.
Use it all.
Go plan something.
Oh, there you go.
That's why, Nene's great with that too. I mean, she's helped, plan some of our employees, their trips, cruises, flights. So, I mean, I always joke in another life.
Well, she's good at that.
So she would literally either be a great personal shopper. Renee's got amazing style. She still buys me clothes sometimes. I'm A-okay if it's coming from Nene. I know it's going to be on trend.
There you go.
And being like the the whatever those are, the people who travel agent.
Travel agent.
Yeah. But obviously for higher end excursions
like
and trips,
luxury.
Travel agent. That would be all day. Even like some of the groups she's in, she helps like plan the trips for like the coaching communities. That's what she just loves it though. Yeah, what it is. So it's cool to like also do it for your staff and be like, let me help you plan your dream vacation.
Right.
Like,
and then it's something to talk about.
Absolutely.
And it's something that person, the employee, probably always remembers. Like, oh, that trip. Because they might not have done that trip, right? So they're like, that trip was so awesome. Renee set me up with that. Remember it? And like 10 years go by, and it's still probably something like a core memory type thing.
Absolutely. That's exactly this one employee. It was for her whole family. Like she had taken them all on a cruise, and they'd never done it. It was like I think there was some like things got canceled during the pandemic, kind of a thing, and it finally came to fruition. Like she talks about it all the time. It's such a cool feeling. It's one of those, like we were talking about culture earlier, and this kind of ties in with our health thing. One of my employees at sent me an email the other day, and it was like just out of the blue.
Yeah.
And the employee was just saying, she was like, I just want to thank you. Like today, I officially hit like down 50 pounds. She was like, I had lost 40, and I like was liking where I was at, but like I wanted to hit another 10.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anybody about it. And she's like, today I stepped on the scale and like I hit it. And she was like, what's your feedback for like, how do I maintain this now? Like, I don't want to lose more weight, but I don't want to like be all bulky and like this and that. And it was just such a cool, like, you kind of forget at times because, like, her and I, we've had conversations in the past about it, but she's one of our remote workers, so I don't get to talk to her all the time.
Right. So it's like kind of in passing type thing.
Yeah. And it's like, she sees all the stuff on social media all the time in my stories, and it's just like that she used
the ninja's
my
back.
Story. That's right. Yeah, got to put that in there. That's like everybody's favorite workout
That
machine.
is hilarious.
It is the strangest picture, but it works out. You're like, does he have samurai swords in the back,
it's like
or is he doing abs?
Yeah.
But it's cool because you forget. I think we're very, especially you and I, like we're very hyper aware of that with our children, right? That we're constantly setting the example. But you forget sometimes the adults around us, as
normal
well.
people,
are they find inspiration out of some of the things that we just do in passing.
Yeah,
as our last guest was saying, like giving that kid that water cooler. I mean, that's
who knows?
Yeah, if his business ticks off from that, and it's like he didn't have to spend couple hundred
that guy
bucks,
might be on the podcast 10 years from now.
100% telling
us that
from
story.
the other side of it.
I know that guy.
It's just one of those things.
Never know.
I think sometimes we do. You kind of skate over how much impact some of those little moments.
Yeah, no, 100%. So on the fitness, how you been in? I know we talked about the ice bath stuff. How you been in the gym and stuff?
Really good back with that. It's
diet, all that stuff.
Good with the
How's
checkpoints. Diet's always the question with me.
Summer's tough.
Like it is. It's an excuse, but I've at least
really
having that bachelor party coming up has obviously been motivating. I'll be out there with a bunch of 30-year-olds from Iowa. So I had to show them like,
is that your brother-in-law?
Yeah. So I want to make sure they still know I'm the alpha. Like I might be the old guy, but this old guy.
Throw back though.
That's it. This old guy can outdrink you, outlift you, play better golf than you. I'm going to do all the things and be the responsible one that ensures everybody gets home safely because that's the dad in me.
Yeah.
But
you play both roles.
Yeah, but between that and the wedding, it's just like they're good motivators. So we've actually, last week
you got ripped up for the bachelor party, dude.
Dude, have to. That's the goal right now. Is like being a little more strict than I would be because it's.
When's the bachelor party?
July 18th.
Where are you going again? You said
Montreal.
Oh, Montreal. Okay.
Yeah,
is it hot up? I guess it's hot up there.
It's like actually a little bit. So it'll be cooler. This is apparently like the ideal time to go because it's so much more north than we are. Yeah, it'll be like probably. High 70s.
I love that.
Yeah, so on the golf course, that's perfect.
Oh,
Not
perfect.
like sweating.
They have golf up there?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Saying, I was just saying, Hunter, my brother-in-law, is like, he's dialed in. He knows all the good courses.
Yeah.
Kind of felt bad. He pretty much.
He planned it?
Planned
Are you the
entire
best man?
thing. No.
Okay.
Yeah. He's got a lot of really good friends, but apparently not ones that like to plan
stuff.
For him, so.
Yeah, because usually it's like the best man, right?
Usually he would. I think his brother and one of his friends are the best man. Guys. Most guys aren't good at that kind of stuff.
No,
I do a lot of our planning. I do the vacations. And I do all the birthday parties and stuff. So I'm used to it.
Yeah,
but most guys. Even the weddings you talk to, like I talk to guys now about their wedding, like
I didn't know nothing.
Yeah,
I didn't know
you
nothing.
Get like that weird, like glossed over.
I just showed up.
Like whatever she wants. I don't really know. I don't have much say in this. I know I'm wearing a tux. That's about it.
Yep. Yeah, but actually my brother just recently got engaged too.
Yeah, that's right.
Luke.
Actually, they just went in. I think your mom was in my aunt's bridal shop the other day with your soon-to-be sister.
That's your aunt?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's in where's that? Is that the Sewell?
Yeah, she's technically Washington Township.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bridals by Cindy. Anybody who needs a wedding dress, go check my bra out right on the Pike in Washington Township.
I think she picked one there too.
Oh, nice. Yeah. She said yes to the dress. Let's go.
She said yes to the dress.
Love that. I'll be in a social media post.
Yeah. I think they're getting married in next May.
Oh, nice. Where are they doing destination or staying local?
No, they're doing it. I mean, look, it's somewhat destination, I guess. It's in Avalon. What's that place called? That bar hotel right when you pull in to Stone Harbor. The Reeds.
The Reeds.
Yeah,
yeah.
The Reeds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So that's where they actually got engaged.
Okay.
Last month or 2 months ago. And then, that's where they're going to get married.
Nice. That'll be a good venue.
Yeah, it should be cool. Yeah, that's May. That's, it's already, 8 months away or whatever.
You the best man?
I don't know yet, dude.
He hasn't
invited anybody yet, but word around the street is, so if he listens to this, he'll hear it. Word around the street is I am, but the guy doesn't ask me nothing, you know? Unbelievable.
It's one of those just assumed.
It's assumed. You know, yeah. And that's what they were saying. He's like, oh, you guys don't ask. I'm like, they do. Yeah. I did.
Apparently you don't look on social media. You're supposed to give presents and stuff these days. Agreed. You're supposed to creatively ask people.
So I may be, or it might be my brother, but I'd probably be the end up planning the thing. We were at the pool party for my mom's company. I was messing around with my sister-in-law because she wants to do a joint party. Disagreed, right?
Veto.
So I told her, I said,
nobody's going to have fun.
I'm the one planning it, and we're not doing a joint one.
No.
She's like, oh, a lot of people do that. And I'm like, all right, name one.
Yeah.
She's like, she couldn't name anyone. I'm like, I've never heard anyone doing that. I'm not doing that.
No. They're so what women do on bachelorette trips typically and what guys do are completely
different.
So that's a perfect example. So my sister, they just did their bachelorette party a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, look, they had a good time. I saw the pictures.
Awesome time. But they went to like Rosemary Beach outside of Destin, Florida. They had like a spa day, a yoga day, a bonfire on the beach.
Sounds like a great time.
Story time, doing each other's nails. And like they were doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, girl stuff.
I mean, some girls do. They go to Nashville and they get blacked out drunk and they do the bar. Like,
guy stuff. Golfing.
Yes.
Drinking,
yes,
hanging out at the pool,
gambling, a lot of shit.
Go to the
talking.
Park,
There will probably be some strip clubs.
Casino if there's a casino.
We all hate
around.
them though. We hate strip clubs; they're gross, but it's like
100%,
mandatory.
100%. My wife,
rite of passage.
I know. My wife like gets me. I'm like, I don't like going.
Yeah,
it's just that's
truly don't.
It's like it's awkward.
Yeah, it is. I honestly pay the girls to go away.
It's awkward.
One of the guys I used to do a lot of business with, I would like drive for him when we started PayDay. Yeah, and I would just basically look like his fucking security.
Big dude.
Trench coat, we wore suits back then. I would drive him and his clients around, and we would always like go to a game, go to a nice dinner, and always wound up at the strip club at the end of the night. And like very successful guy, and it would give me anxiety.
Some people love him,
dude.
Some people do love him.
He had a really good system for the business owners out there, always giving game, right? So again, experience, Flyers game, Del Frisco's are a good steakhouse for a meal, and Delilah's, right? And it would be he would find the best looking dancer and be like lap dances for everybody until somebody says no. Then he would find the masseuse girl, and he'd be like, hey, massages for everybody. Big massage guy, so I always partook in that. They're not naked, by the way, side note.
But you are. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, that's how else are they supposed to get the oils and stuff in all the right spots? No, and then, they would be doing their thing and drinking, but like this guy would always he would have like $2,000 to $3,000 in ones, like just sitting on the bar. And I'm not like an organized person.
Did he like ask the clients before?
Oh, like it was just me, like, I feel like that was like how he somewhat built his business. So it was kind of like you expected almost like if you were a top client that's what it was going to be every now and again. Huh. And it was like I would literally like be putting the money in piles and the girls would all be coming by and I'd be like, here's $2, go away. Here's $5. Just like I'd be talking to the bartender, having like heart to hearts and stuff where they're like
eating a steak.
That's the best steak. As long as who said that? James Harden, right? Best steak in Philadelphia. $10,000 steak while I was here, just making it rain. But hey, people leverage some interesting things.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, whatever.
It's not about you, right? It's what the client likes.
Very true.
If you know some of your clients or
strip club guys,
they like that stuff.
Or girls.
Hey, absolutely.
Don't discriminate.
Yeah. I know some women who have great times in a strip club. Probably too much of a good time.
Very true.
Yeah, it is. It's always about the experience at the end of the day.
100%. 100%, man. So we're at 22 episodes.
Yeah, which is
crazy, right? We can do a full day of viewing.
Yeah, we really do. We must have 24 hours of content out there.
Wild.
Long
flies
form
by.
video.
Flies by, man.
So what are some takeaways from obviously I would assume if we watch episode 1 to now, hopefully there's some serious growth.
So I didn't do my homework. Who was episode 1? That was
our first guest, I think, was Devin. And then we went just us, the first one, to kick it off.
Then we did Devin.
Went Devin, and then we had our moms. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's
crazy.
So what are your biggest takeaways from what have you learned from
I think a lot of I think a lot of the entrepreneurs that we have on are all similar.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the stuff that they say is stuff that I say, is stuff that you say, is stuff that one of the guests pretty much say, the whole hard work, the upbringing is very similar. And like, for example, our last episode, we had Bot on, right? Similar, I didn't bring it up during the episode, but similar to him, while I was working full time, I was going to college at night. So I faced that similar sacrifice, if you want to call it, but investment, right? And similar to him, I'm not like a big going out guy anyway. So it's like, I did go out, with my friends and stuff, but I didn't go out a ton because I was doing both of those things.
And had a kid
and had a kid and all that stuff. So I didn't go out a ton, but I also didn't feel like I missed much because, I'm kind of like a homebody, old soul guy.
Yeah, I hear that.
But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is like a lot of the people that we've had on are like super similar, in their work ethic. They're all different industries. We've had guys who own pizza places, right? We've had realtors, Devin, right? My mom. We've had HVAC guys.
Yeah.
So they're all different.
Social media influencers.
Yeah, we've had so many different, all over the place. We've had from an industry standpoint. We could make a whole BNI out of all these different.
Truly. Yeah.
But they all have like very similar stories. And all have similar thoughts on, they want to continue to grow, how they scaled their business, taking that leap, right, of starting the business and going out on their own.
Yeah.
I think that's like probably the biggest thing is that a lot of us entrepreneurs are a lot more similar than you think, because you're not really like, we don't always have the opportunity to sit down with another person like we do here for a full hour and kind of grill them, right? When we're doing, at least for myself, when I'm doing like a one-to-one, it's typically only like 30 to 45 minutes, unless it's like a lunch meeting, and sometimes it goes longer because you're just clicking with the person and it goes 2.5 hours and you're like, oh shit, that actually happened to me yesterday. I had a lunch meeting at 12:30 and I'd leave, it was 3, and I'm like, whoa.
That's like the best and the worst.
It was like that, because then I'm looking at it like, whoa.
Yeah, like got a lot of things I need to catch up on. Like, that was a good person.
Because I didn't even notice that. But yeah, so rarely is there that opportunity because of how busy everybody is in life.
Sure.
So it's been really cool to sit down with these types of people for a full hour. Like I said, kind of grill them, get that kind of get a feeling on what makes them tick and all that stuff. And like I said, I think the biggest thing I've learned is how similar of a mindset I have with all these people too.
Sure.
What about you?
Yeah. I mean, I'll take it more on like the technical side of it. So I would say the biggest thing, I've learned so much about communication on it, right? Because sometimes we have people who are good storytellers. Sometimes we don't.
Yep.
Sometimes there are people who can articulate a great thought, and sometimes you kind of got to get it from them. And it really teaches you how much you have to listen, right? It's like we're sitting here. I'm sure you guys can tell we don't script any of this. This is literally all off the cuff. We give like a general outline to our guests of like, here's kind of what we're going to talk about. Here's the flow of every episode, but nothing is scripted whatsoever. So you really do in the moment have to take the information they're giving you, figure out either how to repurpose that and give what the point is to ensure it's clear and frame it for the audience, or all right, now how do I segue that into the next part of the conversation?
Yep.
And it's one of those, it's considered a soft skill, but I think that's one of the things, especially with all the networking we do, it's refined that skill even more, and it makes it that much easier for me to connect with people because I can figure out the right questions to ask, how to be interested in the conversation, and then, how to kind of keep it going without it ever being awkward or having those weird silences.
And stuff. Yeah.
And then also the frustrating, but also realizing this is something new side of a podcast is figuring out like what the analytics mean, right? Like what are views?
I don't think we're there yet.
so we're not, but I do look at this stuff and like just compared to social media is my point. Realizing that there's some friction, right? Because if you see this clip on Instagram, the chances that you're going to then click the link, which you can't even really put the links, you're going to copy the link on Instagram to then go to the actual episode.
I don't even think you can copy like text. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, honestly, on that, but that's
Yeah.
why like we put it in
If you do,
Facebook and like
link in the bio.
LinkedIn, so you can click on it. But even that, like how many people are clicking on that to then
Yeah.
go to the YouTube page? Like there's friction there.
Right.
So you have to understand, like, okay, maybe the Instagram where it just comes in your feed, like that's going to get thousands of views,
Mm-hmm.
but the podcast is only going to get 100 views
From that or
or
whatever. Yeah,
a few hundred views.
Right.
And yeah, not as many people are going to follow it, and it's something that just takes time. And now
Yeah.
you see why.
Yeah.
I could definitely see why people get frustrated and quit
100%.
because you're like, are we doing it? Is this the best use of our time?
Yeah, and really,
Right.
and listen, like we're shout out to Joe who's our recorder and everything.
Yeah, sweet recording, baby.
You know, we're spending 2 hours a month. Like, imagine if we were doing, you know, all this stuff. Like,
Yeah, the editing and the upload.
then you can tell why you can really tell why people quit,
Yeah.
because after you go 7 months and you're like, all right, I'm only getting, you know, 200-300 views or whatever. I'm spending 15 hours for, you know, editing because you're new at it, right? So it's going to take you longer than someone who does it every single day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it takes you 15 hours a month. Let's just say this part is the easy part.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, then you're like, all right, I'm putting too much time into it.
Yeah.
You know,
But just you realize it's very similar to the business, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we probably have to give it 2 or 3 years of consistency till we build a little bit more of a brand and a name. And, you know, and then people go back and are like, oh shit, they had so-and-so on this like that long ago. And then, then we're getting better quality people. I mean, I feel like we get some of the best quality in our area, but maybe it expands. Maybe then other people are coming in. But it's
find people on our jets.
Yeah, it's soon enough, baby. We're getting there slowly but surely.
Yeah.
But it's definitely been a fun experience, especially to do with you. It's brought us closer together as well.
Right back at you.
Yeah, and we're very good in balance. You know,
Definitely.
The way we deliver, the difference in our voices.
And you got the deep voice. You know, I got the bitch voice. It's because it plays off each other well.
Exactly. Yeah, it could just like both be a little higher, both be a little lower pitch, right? Just
we hit all angles.
Booms. Yeah, that's exactly.
We hit them all.
We're like the best version of twins. If both of twins were fit,
dude, we got to have like someone do a marketing thing.
That would
put the head on there and then make that like the episode thing.
Yeah,
you hear that,
thumbnail.
Joe?
Yeah. I love
Get that on
Andy
there.
Frisella's always doing that. Sorry, Andy, we're gonna steal that one. Don't sue us.
Yeah.
But nah, that is. So how about? I mean, we always ask this of other people. Why don't we go through and like, what's one of the biggest lessons? It doesn't obviously have to be in the podcasting realm, but whether it be parenting or business or personal, like what are your biggest takeaways in life that's really made you? So
I'm going to do that
in front of me right
I'm
now.
going to do the classic thing that all the guests do. You didn't tell me you were going to hit me with this.
I wish I had a little notice. I wish somebody would have told me to think about this story. It's more fun when you catch people.
I mean, I think, listen, we got some time. Yeah. I think there's multiple things in my life, I'd say, is kind of attributed to who I am. Mm-hmm. First and foremost, having a kid at 19 years old. Mm-hmm. I brought that up, I'm sure, on past episodes, but maybe someone didn't listen to it. So I had a kid right after high school, a son, and I tell people this story all the time because I could have gone, at that point, and I'm really good at recognizing this because of partially because of my dad. Yeah. My dad, while I was growing up, was always big on like business and leadership and getting better, and similar to my mom. Mm-hmm. So to both of them, and have really attributed to that. But he would always use like these different analogies, and I find myself like using these analogies now. Mm-hmm. So like at that point in my life when I had my son, like I was at a crossroad, right? And I could have gone down one route and, quite frankly, been a shitbag and jump from job to job. And like, we all know those kids in high school who flounder out, who mm-hmm. may have had a kid and, they're not doing well.
Yeah.
Right. Or I could use that as fuel to work my ass off, be able to provide, for my family at that young of an age. And that's the route I took. And that was, like I said, an analogy from my dad. So I took that route and worked full time. I bought a real estate, was always big in my family, as you know, with my mom and everything. So I bought a condo when I was 21 or 20. working full time while also going to rowing part time at night. Unfortunately, I had to do that for, I don't know, God, 9 years. It took me,
Yeah.
and it was like the longest 9 years, and it I remember, just sucked having to work, eat dinner, go to school. You know what I mean? Not even time to go home. Like eat dinner somewhere out and then go right to school. It was definitely tough, but it showed me like what I'm capable of, and it showed me that what I can do. Right?
Yeah.
If I can do this, I can work 60 hours a week, and I know I can do it because I did it before.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's like probably that's the biggest catalyst of who I am today, I would say.
Yeah. The mindset of the victor, not the victim. Right?
Yeah. And that's like another analogy my dad would always use is you could always kind of, blame others, right, for your struggles and stuff, or you can say, this has happened. What am I going to do about it? Solution type thing. I'm fortunate to have taken that road because it could have been way worse. That could have set my trajectory way off and probably definitely wouldn't be here today.
Yeah, one of my coaches has a great acronym for BLAME, and it says it stands for being lazy and making excuses.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
It's like that should be the acronym, right?
It.
Like that's
like
the
put it on the screen.
Yeah, that's like that's perfect.
Yeah, I always love things like that. They stick with it.
Yeah, 100%. So what about you? I'm gonna hit you with it. Here we go.
Mine's honestly easy. It's the same story for me, and I can parlay it into two things. But for me, it was failing out of college. That I've shared. I really didn't have many challenges in life. I've always been social. I've been 6'4" since I was like 12 years old. So I was
Lucky
the first pick in most things.
Lucky bastard.
I was the social butterfly. So I was, popular, whatever word you want to use there. And I was involved. So I was in all the clubs, DECA, student council, played all the sports, did all the things, and did well enough. I have a pretty good memory. So I could do well in high school because a lot of that was memorization.
Yeah.
Where college became application. And I was 17, all excuses right here, but I wasn't really mature enough to be in college on my own. My life was so structured. Always had my parents by my side to, when I would hit those bumpers, they'd be like, "Oh, this gotta get back. Let's refocus." And you don't have that when you go away to college, and you have more people demanding more of you with way more leniency. So, I unfortunately bought into my hype. I thought when my coaches told me I could go to the league, that was like the gospel, and I was there. I'd made it, and I realized I'd really only done the work to get a D1 scholarship. I hadn't done the work to make it to the NFL. So when that day came that my coach had to sit me down, I've shared this story before. I have two younger siblings. My sister's 10 years younger. My brother's 7 years younger. And my parents were going on like their first like European vacation, like saving up money. They were working really hard when we were younger. And they were flying out of JFK. So it was the only reason they were up in the New York area. And my coach was like, "Hey, I know you're going on this big fancy trip and all, but like I need you to stop by the office on your way." And I get called in. He's like, "Hey, Justin's academically ineligible. He's basically going to be asked to leave after this semester. We're going to help him with some things like on the way out." And dude, it was, I think I'd probably rather be punched in the face by Mike Tyson than relive that. And I had to go back home. I was very well supported in Washington Township and known. And I was working at like the Hallmark at the Defford Mall. I was driving this Windstar van my aunt gave me.
Was it the one in the mall, or was it the one that's near Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah, in the mall. I was driving this crazy Windstar van that was like half rust, half blue. God. I took the back seats out. There was like a bed mattress in it, and like it was a wild time. And I was like, that was like my quote unquote rock bottom. At least, that's what the pity party I was throwing for myself.
Yeah.
And the next biggest lesson I learned was how important the people in your life are. And that was when my nan, I always kind of give her the credit for that moment. She had come up to me and she always called me Magoo. And she said, "Hey, Magoo, you're not dead. You're not addicted to anything. You can change this.
Could be worse.
It could always be worse." And that was like what I needed at that moment. And it kind of like reinvigorated. It was like, okay. Like I'm not hooked to anything. Like I have opportunity. I have skills still. I did a little better in school, really realized it wasn't for me. It
Yeah.
just wasn't. I need this. I need back and forth interactions. I
100%.
can't be spoken at for 3 hours and expected to learn any of that. So it just wasn't the environment for me. So
It's not for everybody.
yeah, and it was, but I think had I just been like passed through, like had I been like an Ohio State, and I would have had like no foundation. You know, it would have all been this balloon ready to burst at any point that really wasn't built on anything.
Right.
So that really taught me that, man, if I ever get another opportunity at that level, like I will not give less than 110%. Yeah. And that's what PayDay's been. You know, it was my mother's dream, not mine. But I've realized what an opportunity it's been over the 14 years to like grow within PayDay and really help build it. Yeah. And now kind of, technically be the face of it. Yep. And it's wild when you look back, right? And hindsight's always 20/20, as they say. But without that, I'd probably have been some random jerk off with a really inflated ego.
Yeah.
Probably making a ton of money on Wall Street or something like that. But
Wall Street.
I would have stayed in the New York area. I assume if the NFL didn't work, I'd have been one of those sharks that were just out to screw people over and make a ton of money. But thankfully I wasn't. Thankfully, God sent me home, met my wife, have beautiful kids, have this opportunity now. And 17 years ago, hopefully I was not with Gene at that point based on the math, but I wouldn't have thought that this was my life. This wouldn't have been. If you would have tried to sell me this, I'm like, nah, I'm in the NFL, brother. What do you mean? I need this payroll stuff and all these.
Get ready for your Hall of Fame acceptance.
That's exactly right.
Right now,
that's exactly right. But you see a lot of these stories. Like I love Coach Prime, and you hear the story of when he was in the height of his glory, he was the most depressed he'd ever been. He was suicidal, and you realize, I probably wouldn't have been mature enough to handle that either. So there were reasons that wasn't my destiny.
Yeah. Hey, everything happens for a reason.
100%. And sometimes you have to realize that. You have to roll with the punches, people. Yeah. It's not
Life's
what we think that we deserve that we're going to get. It's what are we willing to work for? And I wasn't willing to work for what I thought I wanted at that time.
Right. Yeah, I mean, at that point, you don't even know what you want, right? When you're that old. Like you think you know what you want, but
I'm a grown ass 18-year-old. I know everything. I got all the life experience I need right now.
I mean, I see him now more than ever because my son's 14, and it's like he's doing the same shit I did, and it's like, you just think about it, you're like, dude, you don't know yet, you know what I mean?
Hey, don't be puffing that chest up to me, boy.
Yeah. But I did the same thing when I was younger. I'm sure you did the same thing when you were young. You thought you knew everything.
Absolutely.
But you learn as you get older.
And I was always bigger than my dad, too, so I definitely thought I was tougher. Sorry, Ralphie. But,
you probably installed your dad in what, like freshman year?
I think literally at like 10 or 11, I was 6 foot.
Oh, my, 10 and 11?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I was telling you, like, we were talking about something the other day, and I was telling people that I was like literally on like the 11 all-star team for baseball. They were like, people basically thought I was like, they were like, who's that new coach?
That kid's from Cuba. Get him out of here. How old is that kid?
Certificate. Mine's in Crown. Here we go. I was born in 1986.
How old is this kid?
Full goatee. I still can't even grow a mustache. But yeah, crazy. I was like, literally, it was just, I've always been tall.
Do you have, I guess on probably your mom's side, you have people that are taller?
Yeah, and A&A's, I mean, my mom's like 5'10".
Yeah, she's pretty tall.
She's super tall.
Yeah.
But I have an uncle who's the same height as me, and then my other uncle Jimmy, who had passed away years ago. He was fat just, but bigger. Yeah, he was like 6'4", probably like
big
360.
Guy. Yeah, big guy.
Yeah, so I realize that now. I see those pictures, and I'm like, damn, all I needed was somebody to be like, "Yeah, you look like Uncle Jimmy," and I would have got my ass in shape way early. I'm like, nah, I'm not that big. Oh shit.
Yeah.
No, I am
crazy.
that big. Yeah.
Crazy.
So it is, but it's been an awesome journey to do this with you.
Yeah, it has been. Man.
We definitely, as this continues to unfold, we'll disclose more about our businesses and probably a little bit more of the processes and how we've built to where
we're almost here, right? So before we sign off, give that, that 30-second elevator pitch, because we don't really do it, right?
We really don't.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. So any of the folks out there. So what I do is I alleviate headaches for business owners. So we start with payroll, and my job is always to put time back in your day by either saving in cost or truly taking processes off your plate and streamlining them so your staff can deal with the other 1,000 things that every business has to deal with. So what we do is we give you a comprehensive audit of, what does the process look like for payroll? What are the other pain points around time and attendance, scheduling, pensions, benefits, HR? And then I create the all-star team of companies that will, service all of that, because we only do the payroll and taxes in-house with a tech stack that allows us all to communicate. So I like to say we're the quarterback of everything. It's really your CPA, but I'll be the quarterback for right now. And then I just kind of bring that all-star team together. So if you use like a Paychex or ADP, I'm going to give them a second of just give me a call, because trust me, the service model, I tell everybody, we're a service company first, payroll company second, and then a tech company third. So if you like custom fit clothing rather than just something off the shelf at Macy's, we would be that. But
hit my boy up.
Yeah. How are you? That was more than 30 seconds.
Yeah, nah, you're good. Yeah. So I run a insurance brokerage that specializes in flood insurance. And then we also have a family of companies that are all in the flood space. So on the insurance side, we do flood insurance nationwide. And then we also do a lot of homeowners insurance, auto insurance, and small business insurance in the tri-state area. So here in Jersey, PA, Delaware, New York. And then the other family of our companies, we sell flood mitigation products. So whether you're trying to flood-proof your building, we have dry flood-proofing products for the commercial side. And then on the residential side, we manufacture, they're called flood vents, which are required if you are building a new residential home in a flood zone. And you can get them through like lumber yards and all that sort of stuff. But that's, the short and sweet of what I do.
Yeah. So all those out there that have beach homes, or obviously businesses that are by the ocean, the lake, the reservoir, the
river,
any of that stuff, Ty's your guy. You got to make sure you hit them up. They got to have amazing products, and obviously the insurance to ensure that that asset of yours stays an asset and doesn't wind up costing you a ton of money.
100%.
We're saying that a lot these days, right?
Yeah, it's getting crazy out there.
Yeah.
It's getting crazy. I don't know why, but it's a lot of storms lately.
There sure have been.
My fence fell down
probably on Monday.
2 days ago. Yeah.
I was going to say Monday was like 30-mile-an-hour winds.
So brutal. I had to go out there, fix it.
Oh, you have the PVC stuff too, right?
It's such a pain in the ass.
I was gonna say, each time you got to replace those things ain't cheap.
It's brutal. It's brutal, but
ain't built like it used to be.
Nope. Yeah.
Well, friends, I think it's about time to sign off from this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed just the two of us. We'll be back to having guests, regular scheduled program on the next one. But as always, have the best day ever. We love you. We appreciate you being here. Like, subscribe, ding that bell, do the things. Follow us on social media.
Boom.
Because we'll be pouring into you for another 22 to come.
Awesome sauce. Best day ever, fam.